People in the village used to whisper about a certain girl. She was called Amara. Nobody knew about her, but everyone noticed her. She would appear at the market in the morning, buy only a few things, and leave before the place got too noisy. She never stayed to gossip, never walked in groups, never tried to be noticed, yet everyone's eyes followed her. Amara had a beauty that made people stop for a moment. Even if they tried to hide it, her skin shone smooth in the sunlight. Her steps were gentle, and her eyes seemed to carry stories nobody else could read. But she was quiet, always keeping to herself. In the evenings, when drums filled the air and people gathered to dance under the moon, Amara would sit under the big mango tree by the square. She clapped softly to the rhythm, her bangles catching the firelight, but never joined the dance. If a man tried to talk to her, she would give a small smile, answer politely, and then walk away. To the people, she was both near and far, present yet untouchable, and so Amara became the village's mystery. Among the villagers was a young man named Emeka. He was a woodcarver, known for shaping spoons, masks, and drums. He was not rich, and he was not the loudest man in the square, but people respected him for his humble spirit and hard-working hands. For weeks, Emeka watched Amara from a distance, not the way other men did with laughter and boasting, but with curiosity. Something in her stillness pulled him, as though her silence was calling out louder than any drum. One evening, while the festival fire burned bright and music filled the air, he finally walked towards the mango tree. Amara was sitting alone as usual. The glow of the fire touched her face, and her bangles shined as she clapped gently. "You always sit here alone," Emeka said carefully in his calm voice. Amara turned her head and gave him a smile. "Do I?" "Yes," Emeka nodded. "Everyone is dancing, everyone is laughing, but you sit here quiet." She looked at him, her eyes steady, as if whining his words. Then she said softly, "I like to sit where I can see everything. The mango tree is a good place to do that. Then let me also sit here and see with you." Amara did not move away, and so, for the first time, someone joined her under the mango tree. That night, they spoke only a little, but in the silence between them, something began. The next morning, Emeka went to the river to fetch water. There he found Amara washing clothes by the bank. The sun was rising, the water was calm, and she looked at peace. She noticed him and smiled faintly. "You again?" "Maybe the river brought me," Emeka replied, half joking. Amara laughed softly. It was not loud, but it was real. It was the kind of laugh that made Chinedu want to hear it again. They talked. She told him she liked the river because it was quiet in the morning and nobody disturbed her. Emeka listened and said, "I carve drums from wood. One day I will carve one for you. When you beat it, you will remember the sound of the river." Amara stopped for a moment, surprised. No one had spoken to her like that before. Not trying to impress her, not rushing her, but simply being kind. As days passed, they began to meet more often, sometimes at the market, sometimes by the river, but always under the mango tree in the evenings. Slowly, Amara opened up. She told him little things about how people often stared at her, about how sometimes she felt like she didn't belong anywhere. Emeka listened with patience, Then he said, "The mango tree does not ask the birds where they come from. It only gives them shades and fruit. If you sit here, you belong." Amara looked at him, and for the first time her smile was full, bright and soft at the same time. That night, when the drum faded, people went home. Amara and Emeka were still together, their shoulders almost touching. The villagers soon noticed. Amara, who had once sat alone, now sat with Emeka. She still did not talk much to others, but when she was with him, she laughed, and Emeka, who had once kept quiet to his carvings, now walked with her often. People whispered, "She is always with Emeka now. Have you seen how she laughs with him? She never laughs like that before." And they were right. Emeka never asked Amara to explain her past. He never forced her to reveal her secrets. He simply stayed beside her, patient and kind. Under the mango tree, their bonds grew strong, slowly, but surely. Amara remained a mystery. But she was no longer alone. And in the end, the girl the village could not understand found the person who did not need to. That was enough. Slowly but surely, Amara remained a mystery, but she was no longer alone. And in the end, the girl the village could not understand found the one person who did not need to. And that is the end of this story. If you would want me to continue this story or have a part 2 to this story, please state it under the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. See you in my next video. Bye.